Hey Tara, Bradley Waldrop here. This is specifically for you, but I'm sure that lots of people will be able to use this along the way. You had asked, and a bunch of other people were asking about using Social Lead Chief for being able to generate leads and engage a local market for offline businesses. And so let's assume, just for a moment, that we have I don't know, a clothing store, or a shoe store, athletic shoe store, and what we want to do is we want to be able to gather people who are like-minded in a Facebook page through likes, right? And so that's what we were talking about before. That's sort of the top end of the funnel. Life sort of looks like this. We have a whole bunch of people. If you look at the screen, we have a whole bunch of people who are just sort of gathered on the internet around life and what have you. And some of them actually have an affinity. And if these folks have an affinity together and they happen to like athletic shoes, then they can come in here. And so now we have a subset of the natural population, right? And we have them that happen to like the fan page. Well, as it turns out, if you have athletic shoes, they can be lots of different types of shoes, right? And so we can get into micro niching, so to speak, in that process. And it can be as simple as gender based, or running versus cross training, or it could be as simple as athletic shoes for water sports versus land sports. And so let's assume that we have three, and let's assume that these three people here are interested in these people are interested in athletic shoes for running. These people here are interested in athletic shoes for water sports, and the remaining blue people are for another sport, right? Well, if they all gather in the Facebook fan page, that's really great. But all we know about them right now, all we know is that they have some sort of affinity for athletic shoes because they've come by and liked our page. And they may just like the people who are there. We don't really know, right? So we want to be able to craft a way for us to sort them. And in sorting them, it gives us an opportunity to message to them, right? So if we could find a clever way to sort, and I'm going to do this like this, we could sort them into three different groups. And in this group, we happen to have this guy attached, this guy attached, and this guy attached. If the questions, we would have them sorted, and they would all have this big question that is common to them, right? We have a sorted question. And we said that these folks were water sports, and so this is water. Let's just call it water for right now, okay? And then we had running, and because it's just faster for me to do it that way, we've got that person there, this person here, and this person here. I'm just gonna get rid of that thing. And then this one was so we have water sports, we have running, and I can't remember the other one. Let's just call it racket sports. Why not? So we have racket sports, and these guys all have an affinity, right? So if I said, hey, look, I've got a group of people in my store, and I want to be able to give them messages. I don't want to give the racket sports folks the water sports message, and I don't want to give the water sports message to the running folks, right? And so you want to be able to do everything you possibly can to segment the list of people that you have. A simple, hey, they like my page is not good enough. And something that's super unique about Facebook is that you don't have their email address. You do with LinkedIn, by the way, but you don't have their email address on Facebook. So what we're going to try to do is figure out a way to get their email address so that we can get them into the right funnel. Because we could get them into a funnel of some sort, and sort of use a Plinko game to get them into the right hole at the bottom of the board, or we could be very strategic about segmenting these people and then messaging to them and getting them right down to the offer that we're most interested in having them see, right? And so if I had a way of very quickly, identifying just the water people or just the racket people or just the running people, I could then have an effective marketing campaign and engage the people who are on social media in a way that helps me get more foot traffic into my store, because we all know that cold sales, whether they're somebody walking by the window at brick and mortar or online, conversion rate is really, really low on cold relationships. We don't know enough about these people to have them like us enough and have us meet their needs in a way that they buy rapidly. But if we use a tool like Social Lead Chief, now what we could do is we could put up a simple quiz, and in the quiz or the poll, we could literally identify who they are, what they like, segment them into the right list, and then start sending the messages. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take a little break here, and then I'm going to go set up Social Lead Chief, and we're going to walk through that process really quick, and hopefully that will help. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, so here we are in the Social Lead Chief interface, and specifically for a poll. So a poll is unique because we're going to ask one question, many results, and we can segment the results based on that. So it's as simple as clicking on lead poll, which we are at, and clicking add lead poll. And then pick a crazy template. Doesn't really matter what it is, right? And so I'm just going to pick one that's fast and easy to get to. And that is the Facebook Blue. Everyone has it because it's part of whatever package you get. All right, so we're going to customize it, and we're going to customize it by, we're going to say, what sport are you, right? We know they're all athletic, so we want to know what sport they are. If you have a client, set them up there, right? And then grab whatever your domain is. And this is, a poll description. This is the description in the advertisement, and we talked about that before. You could put something in as simple as, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a duck? Click here, or click the video to see if you're a duck, a roadrunner, or a bird. All right, so it doesn't really matter what that is, right? And then you upload your image. Let's just go ahead and do that. I don't want to distract you and take too much time out of your day. And I'm just going to throw up that same picture that we have been using because it's just so much easier to do that. Click next to customize the opt-in. And this is where it gets really cool. So we're going to say yes, we want an opt-in form. And it's going to ask us if we want to customize it. And I say yes, enter your address for coupons or instant savings. How about that? How about just get instant savings? So that's going to prompt them to say, oh, I want to save something, right? And then we can go on to the next. And your best email, we're not going to spam you. Here's your button, and keep on moving. And now we want our autoresponder, and we're going to put this on pause real quick. Okay, we're back. I put in my API code for the autoresponder. There's no reason for you to have to watch me do that again, and I don't want to have to worry about it floating around. Okay, so the poll question. What type of sport suits you best? And you put in swimming? No, surfing. more fun, right? And then racket sports, squash. And then running, right? A marathoner. And then on the list over here, you pick the list that says surfing, the list over here that says squash or water sports, right? Squash, racket sports, and marathoner, running. And now all of a sudden, when they answer the quiz, they automatically get put on the right list. All right, so then we go to our call. Whoop, we got to do one more. We're going to do 4, I guess. And that is other. Let's just say other. And so we'll have an other. And we haven't segmented them yet. And we're going to do what we can to segment them later. So we're going to click on our call to action. And the call to action is something like click here to get or to download your coupons. And it takes them right to a download page, right? And we can retarget them so that we know we can do that, right? But for right now, let's not worry about the retargeting. And then we save that. And then it's going to ask us the final stuff here. Submit and preview. And when we go ahead and save this, or let's say we share it, it's going to look something like it's going to look something like this. What sport are you? All right? Sound off and let us know if you're a surfer, so on and so forth, right? A squash player, or something else all together. And then what will happen is, as they click this, they will go through the quiz. Okay? And when they're done with the quiz, they can go and download automatically. They can go and download the coupons. But we've captured their email address at the same time. And we've segmented them so that when we go back here what we know is that now we can put them into their own group. And we can spend time in their group. All of the images, all the headlines, all of the calls to action, all of the pain points are associated with running, right? Let's find a shoe that allows us to run and not hurt our knees. Racket sports. Let's grab a shoe that doesn't mark the court and gives you the grip you need. Let's find shoes that are water sports that will help keep your feet warm but allow you to stick to the surfboard. Right? Now we have very succinct marketing messages that we can get back out to the crowd, and we have essentially taken all of these question marks, we've thrown them into a group. This is like shooting fish in a barrel when they're in the Facebook fan page. It gets even a smaller barrel the more we know about who they are and what they like. And that is how I have used Social Lead Chief in order to segment my list and get about 10% of all of the people on the fan page to convert. And they convert, for me, that conversion is an email address and an associated affinity. So that helps me make sure that I have the right message. And I hope that helps. And if there are any other questions, give me a holler. Take care.